All right, another option that I want to show from the one-leg X off the twist sweep is a transition to overhook X, as I like to call it. So sometimes when we go for this twist sweep, my opponent, my partner resists, but he doesn't resist enough. I'm not able to use the knee pull enough to get the double ankle. Okay, so I go for the twist sweep. He's responding by resisting in the opposite direction, but you see he's kind of using more his upper body to counter lean without giving me that other foot. Now I'm going to still try to pull him as best as I can, so I'm still using that knee pull, but it's just not enough to get that double ankle. So in this situation, what I'm going to look to do is I'm going to look to suddenly wrap his ankle with my arm, okay, almost like I'm going for an ankle lock, and I'm going to allow my hips to drop, and I'm going to take my feet and I'm going to bring both of them inside his legs. Where one was inside and the other was outside, now both will be inside. Okay. Now there's different configurations that we can use here, and I'm not going to go into all that today, keeping it simple. You can use both hooks on the far leg. My personal preference is actually use one hook kind of in the middle here while the other hook stays on the end of your leg. I've heard this called kuru before. Regardless of your preference, the point is now both of my hooks are playing inside. Now, as I do this, I'm going to also look to grab his wrist and pull him forward. Okay, so I'm going to really help him come forward with his upper body. And now we can start thinking about options from the overhook X here, right? A kick and stand sweep, what I like to call the sickle sweep. There's a lot of different options from here. So I'm in the twist sweep position, okay, the one-leg X. I'm going for the rotation here. He's counter leaning, but you see now as I go for the knee pull, it's just not enough for me to grab that far ankle. But you see his upper body is close. So I'm going to switch to a wrap on the ankle. I'm allowing my legs to drop, and my legs are going to come inside. Again, different configurations we can use with this overhook X position. And at the same time, I'm going to look to grab his wrist, his elbow. If his head's close enough, I can also grab his head. It's like a reverse collar tie here. Whatever I can do to break his posture. And at the same time, I'm going to use my legs and my upper body to kind of dump him forward. Whoop. So I won't go into a lot of detail with this, but I'm just using my legs essentially to kick him forward. I'm using my arm to kick him forward. I'm looking over my shoulder, a couple different things. At the same time, I'm pulling him down with my arm. Okay? I'm just trying to get this response. He may or may not react like this, where I can kick and stand, but the point is I'm putting his hands on the mat and getting him kind of stuck in my newfound position that I just transitioned to. Okay? One last thing here. I can go for this twist sweep, okay? He counter leans. I go for the overhook X, kuru position, and now he responds by really posturing back up, and I'm not able to break his posture. I can immediately go back and twist sweep, right? So that response that he's giving me, when I try to make the transition, he comes back. Let me go right back to the rotation of the knee. So we can use these in combination, very similar to like what we were doing with the double ankle sweep.